Guys, welcome back to K&K Garage. Today, it's going to be a little short video. I don't have much exciting to report. I'm making a few little changes along the way though. Last time out, still struggled with the car trying to leave. It would either go about 2 feet and smoke the tires or smoke them right off the hip. So, the tires I'm using on this are actually, they're a Mickey Thompson Pro Radial. They're used. I got them from a friend of mine because I've never run on radials before to see if I would like them. I will say that they track very nice as you're actually after you hook up and you go. The car drives fantastic. But I'm racing on, let's say, marginal track at best, test and tune nights. Like I said, I don't race a class. I'm not racing anything in particular. I'm just going for the quickest times. So after some kind of him-hawing around, I thought about buying a new set of radials for it. I don't think I'm going to do that. So I changed my mind back and forth a few times and then decided, listen, with the marginal track and what I'm really doing with the car, it just makes sense to go back to a slick. So the slicks I had on the car before were a Hoosier, and they were kind of a radial too. They were the QuickTime Pros. Car worked really well on those when it was independent rear. After I went solid axle, they were iffy. But they were old and wore out as well, so that's not helping my cause none. But these came in the mail today. So, brand new 28 by 10.5 15 Hoosiers in the CO7 compound. So we're going to be getting these put on the car, and I think my days of no longer getting a good 60 foot are going to be gone. Like I said, this car's gone a 141 before, and it has a lot more in it, I feel. But lately, the past couple times out have been, 1.6s. Like I said, these things, they've seen better days. Hell, you can't even see where the little grooves used to be in them anymore. I mean, they're pretty much gone. So these will end up going into trash and go bye-bye. And actually, just that looked like a hole, but I guess not. So the slicks, I'll do work around on that. I can kind of run the anti-squat I got in the car now that I've knocked it down a little bit, and I might take a little bit more out of it and alter the bars a little bit, and play around with the shock settings. But at least I think with the new slicks, I will have something that might be repeatable. The deal right now, these things are gonna, even if I went with a brand new radial, I have a feeling that it was gonna be kind of hit and miss anyways. They're finicky, and I just want to go out and have fun. I don't want to be chasing a tune-up. Every time I go, something's different. I got to reevaluate everything. I'm beyond that. I did all that sorts of stuff 20-some years ago, trying to race somewhat competitively, and I'm just racing myself. I just want to go fast. I want the car to be as maintenance-free as possible. I want to change the oil, put fuel in it, check the tire pressure, go racing. So slicks are the way to go. Hoping that gets me where I need to be. So I need to get these mounted up, and I'm thinking, what day is that going to be? Dun, dun, dun. Wednesday, February 3rd. I should be back at Showtime Drag Strip down in Clearwater, Florida, and we're going to try the slicks out. And the slicks never bothered me as far as movement or anything like that. Like I said, I ran on them for years. I got used to how the car sways. So you just let the car do what it wants to do. You'll know when it's getting out of shape big time on you. Plus, I also like the fact with these that if something does happen and car gets a little out of shape, these are a lot easier to recover from than the radial. When the radials go, if you blow the tires off and it spins or the car gets sideways, you're done. You're not saving it. I mean, you're on an ice skating rink with these things at that point. So at least the slick, the soft sidewall wrinkles up. It kind of grips, holds a little better. It deforms to kind of slow you down, whereas the radial does none of that. So anyways, that should be good there. Second part of my little Rambletron here is the fuel lines. As I built this car, I mean, I was on a budget. but not really. I don't know. I'm just cheap, I guess. So, found a good deal on 6AN line through eBay. Well, I got it, and it was a pain in the ass to work with. And the stuff that I got, yeah, it looks really nice. But it's steel braided inside. So I don't know if you can see that well or not. But these really had a hard time conforming to the shape of the push lock fittings. And this stuff is also kind of stiff. So it's been fine. Haven't had any problems with it. Until, oh, not the last time, but the time before at the track. Thankfully, it was easy to spot. I had a fuel leak. Just as I started to do the burnout, seen something spraying, killed the car immediately. And yeah, it was fuel. So actually, off of my split here, into the line, to the driver's side rail, it was leaking right here. And I could literally take this thing and pop it right off the fitting with my hand. I managed to get it through the night, put it back on, double hose clamped it, good to go, no more leaks, it was fine. But that kind of prompted me to reevaluate, make some changes of what I had on the car. The fittings I got are actually good quality, and I haven't had any failures with any fittings. So I'm going to stick with the fittings, but I'm redoing all the lines. So I don't know if you could tell a whole lot of difference in it, but these are the eBay lines. So here's my return, here's my feed that runs through the ethanol sensor for flex fuel, which I don't even use anymore. And then it goes over into these ones, and this is a Parker push lock. So a good brand name hose. Wow, what a difference just putting them on it's definitely noticeable. They go on a lot easier because you're not fighting the steel braided line. And they conform so good to the fittings, the little barbs inside, that you can actually see them. So it's probably hard to tell, but I can actually see defined where the ribs are on that barb fitting. You cannot do that with the other stuff. So, and I tested one of these, and let me tell you what, I gave it all I had. I can't pull them off. So they are on there. The other ones, I just clamp them in vise, give them a little twist and tug, and they're pulling right off the fittings. So not a good situation. Thankfully that happened, right at the burnout, and I killed the car immediately. Otherwise that could have been, quite the fire show. Don't know. Fire's my biggest fear. Even though I've been burned a bazillion times, and I feel that's probably the way I'm going to go, is in a ball of flames. I wasn't looking to do it that night. So I got all the new hose, and I've just been kind of slowly working on it. So you can see this is the new hose here. Way, way more flexible. And this one has like a nylon inside of it that is much better. So the secret to this stuff, it takes a little muscle to get it on still, but everything that's worthwhile takes a little effort. The secret is a $12 hot plate, an old pot, and some water. So basically you crank this thing up, get the water boiling, cut your hose to length, dip your end in the water, let it get good and warm, pull it out, put your fitting on. I have used just a little dab on my finger of PB Blaster to kind of lubricate it just a little bit, and this stuff just evaporates anyways. But like I said, I tried pulling on them right after I did them, let it cool for about 5 minutes, and damn, these hoses are not coming off. So tonight I think I've already changed these two out of the surge tank, but I need to go from the other side of my filter to the front of the car in my return line. This one's just a vent, essentially. There's no pressure here. This one is, this is venting from the surge tank. If it overfills, something happens, it has a way back to the tank. This one here is the actual vent for air purging and stuff, and that just kind of runs under the car to an old hard line that runs underneath. And it has a rollover check ball in it too, which is good for safety. And my feed here I might leave alone, and my feed out of the pump I might just leave alone going into the surge tank, just for the fact of that is a low pressure pump. operates wide open at approximately 7.5 psi of pressure, because I don't need a lot just to fill the surge tank. The magic happens in there with the two 380 pumps that actually provide to the engine, which now that they've been changed as to when they come on and how they're wired and stuff, I've seen the fuel pressure go up to 120 pounds on a pass. So I am definitely got more than enough fuel to do what I need to do. So anyways, I'm gonna stop it here real quick and I will set the camera up. I'll get the water boiling and I'll show you putting a couple on, and then that should be good for the day, I guess. Like I said, nothing else too exciting other than, I don't know when this will happen. Maybe over the weekend I'll get these off, get those on, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, let me put the pot on the stove. Alright guys, so here's the secret. A little hot water. Go get yourself a $12 hot plate from Walmart. Boil the water, leave your hose in there for a minute or two. Let it soften up. Usually put a little PB blaster on the end of it just to help it. Pull that sucker out of the water. Jam it home. You want to make sure that you get it all the way up inside so it's under the lip. That's done, man. That's all there is to it. That son of a bitch ain't coming back off. So now I turn my crack burner off, unplug it so I don't burn the fucking garage down, install the hose and call it a day.